succede? Perché abbiamo vinto tutti stasera, abbiamo vinto tutti.
19 years ago today, here on the Calcio Guys, Adriano, Gianni, I'm Nicholas, episode 271, and it's been 19 years since I think the three of us could say one of the greatest days, at least of our sporting lives. Memories will hold on to our lives forever, but 19 years later, it's a long time. It's a long time. We don't know when we're ever ever gonna see this team win another World Cup. But first of all, guys, how you doing?
Well, today is a good day. July 9th, for us Italians, it's a big day. So doing good on that aspect. But like you said, Nick, it's 19 years already. It seems, I want to say it seems like yesterday, but we've missed how many World Cups along the process after that. So, but besides that, doing good. Happy to be back recording. A month has gone by. Thank God it hasn't been 19 years since our last recording.
Yeah, honestly, I've been okay. It's been enjoying the summer. It's been nice have time off and stuff. So, been watching some women's heroes. It's been great to watch.
Italy only scores bangers in that tournament. Caruso and Girelli, former Juve player, current Juve player.
Okay, he has to put that out there.
As if that matters.
Nah, I mean, the Juventus women's team has been fantastic lately anyway, so they do deserve some credit. So, look, honestly speaking, they're second in their group. They have a decent, comfortable space between Portugal and themselves with a 3-point gap, and they're playing Spain next game. So we just got to make sure that we get a point versus Spain, and then it doesn't matter if Portugal wins, draws, or loses. As long as, if Portugal wins, even at that, I don't know if the differential is even the tiebreaker anymore.
It is. But I think Portugal, last I checked, was like -5.
They were at -5. Italy's at +1.
So Italy Portugal would have to make up a 6-goal differential. And
yeah.
So I mean, still on side, but Spain's a good team. Spain, there's a good team,
of course.
Yeah,
I watched the game against. I watched both games actually. But the last game against Portugal was a bit disappointing because, they had a comfortable, not comfortable lead 1-0, but they were playing well. They had some chances, and then Portugal came back. They scored a goal, was disallowed. They scored another goal, tied it up. But Italy, if you almost had to feel that they'd be disappointed not winning that one and clinching the spot. But hopefully they'll make it through to the quarterfinals in that tournament.
Yeah, I mean they should. Destiny's in their own hands, so to speak. So they've been playing well, so I don't see why not. It's been some good soccer in that tournament. For any listeners that haven't had a chance to watch the Women's Zeros, I suggest you do, because some exciting football happening in that tournament right now.
Back to we were talking about the World Cup. Today I was just looking at pictures on my phone from 19 years ago. It's crazy how I was 9 years old, and I remember so much from that day. I remember Adri. I was upset because we didn't watch it together. We watched all the knockout games together, and then for some reason in the final, my parents said, "Okay, we're going to a family friend's house," so we watched it there. Obviously, worked out at the end, but I remember being pretty upset. But it is what it is. Still great memories. Maybe next time Italy makes a World Cup final, we'll have to make sure to watch it together. Do you guys, what are your guys' memories that stand out from that night, from that day 19 years ago?
Like you said, Nick, I remember that tournament almost, like I said earlier, almost like it was yesterday. Watching so many games together, and we were 9-10 years old. So lucky enough to say that we remember quite a bit, and kind of kicked off our Calcio fandom in a sense during those times. So the final, I remember I was watching it at home, obviously, and just after the final whistle, and actually it sinking in that whoa, Italy won the World Cup, and this is amazing, and just going outside, going to my window and just screaming, yelling. And I had one of my neighbors that was outside, and they obviously weren't Italian, but they were just as excited for us because we were just so over the top excited. So man, just from the honkings, the horns to waving the flags to celebrating with your loved ones. It was just and being still so like relatively young and like embracing it and actually understanding it. I think we're internally grateful for that, because there's a lot of young Italians out there that have yet to really experience glory and triumph like this. Obviously, the Euros is one thing, but the World Cup is the king of all trophies, and it's just a feeling that you would wish and hope that all fans of, well, we're going to be biased and say Italian fans get to witness and get to cherish. But it's, like I said, just incredible memories. If you'd be watching it with yourself, Nick, or back at my house with my family, I mean, it's just amazing. And like you said, to open the show, just memories that we'll just never forget. And like those players will always hold in a high regard, at least for our generation. A lot of fandom started during that time, like in our I guess age group, if you will, Nick. So just incredible memories, and like you said, I'm hopeful, and we're hopeful that maybe one day we'll get to witness and enjoy more memories similar to 2006.
I myself was at home watching it with my mom and friends, like a family friend and stuff. And once they won, we just made our way to Little Italy here in Montreal, celebrated a lot. It was pretty great. City was almost paralyzed essentially, so it was pretty cool coming in from the East End. It now it's alternated. Like it alternated. Now it's no longer Little Italy. Well, Little Italy was still pretty full when Italy won the Euros in 2021. But They kind of shifted towards RDP, and I'm not a big fan of that, mind you. Whatever it is, what it is, because now you got people in RDP celebrating group stage wins. It's like, hey guys, come on, let's relax here.
But you guys say you had fun when after that Spain game.
But that's fine. No, that was
semi-final.
That was a semifinal win. That wasn't a group stage win. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. My car still has dents on the top of the
What a day! What a day! The Pope rode Johnny's car on the front hood.
No, I remember it very, very well because I was lucky enough to be 13 going on 14 during that time. So still very strong in my mind. I remember where I watched every game, who I was with, what the day was like, blah, blah, blah. It was honestly a fun summer. It was a fun way to spend summer when I was in Sec 2 going to Sec 3. Yeah, that's what it was. Sec 2 going to Sec 3. So great time. Would like to have that again someday. Never gonna happen, but would like to have it again sometime.
Let's hope.
It's funny. I remember my dad telling me after they won, and when we were on our way to Little Italy, like, soak it in, because this was you said this is the first time one of your sports teams wins something, and it's besides Italy winning the Euros, okay, yeah, Juve has the Scudetti, but no Champions League. Like, there's no pinnacle. Yeah, the Saints won the Super Bowl as well, but they still haven't won the Stanley Cup.
Good.
Like I said, good. Better, yeah, okay, fine. Juve hasn't won the Champions League.
I'm kidding. I'm just buzzing your chops.
In terms of pinnacle trophies, like it's still the one. But you're right, Little Italy. If like the pictures I was looking at today, compared to 2021, like 2021 had a lot less people in Little Italy alone. Like there was a ton of people in 06. I remember that very well. I remember one guy I remember specifically was a guy walking around in a Kobe Bryant jersey. Etched into my mind. But yeah. Actually, you know me, guys. I love my quizzes. So in honor of 19 years, we gotta stretch our memories. Well, more like you two guys. I came up with a couple of questions, so we'll see how good your memories are. It goes from easiest to hardest. So I think the easiest one, let me just pull it up 1 second.
Watch, we're going to still botch the easy one.
Who led the team in goals during the 06 tournament?
It was a tie, but there was like multiple players with
Obviously,
2 goals.
You guys can look up. No cheating, right?
There was multiple players with 2 goals. There's Luca Toni who had 2. I believe Materazzi had 2 as well.
Yep.
Pirlo had what?
Pirlo had one. Totti had one.
Gilardino had
Grosso
one.
had one. Gilardino had one. Zambrotta had one.
You
think
had
it's two,
it,
right?
Materazzi,
Yeah. It was just,
and Tony.
Materazzi and
Materazzi, Tony. Yeah.
In the final, what minute did Materazzi score in?
Oh, it was
early.
It was like the 38th, 39th minute. It was
No.
First. It was late.
It was early. It was earlier than that.
France scored first on the PK though. Then after Italy tied it.
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
But
it was
I'm saying that was a dive by Maluda. That should not have been a penalty.
Well, yeah, he nicked him slowly, but but I get it. But it wasn't like
was it 38? No, it couldn't have been. I think it was earlier than that.
It was earlier than that.
Was it 20? Okay, 28.
I want to say 13th or something, like 13th.
No, that's way too early. That was probably the France goal. Was
it?
Fuck,
I don't remember. 21. I don't know.
Close. 19th minute. Maluda or Zidane scored. This
in the 11th.
He scored the penalty. Yeah, hit off the crossbar, went down behind the line.
7th minute. So
7th
really early.
minute.
We had two goals really early on, and that was it. There was another goal though. I think it was around the 65th, 68th minute, if I remember correctly, by Italy. I remember celebrating it, but it was quickly ruled offside. It was actually offside.
Oh my god!
Who scored that goal?
Oh Jesus, this I can't remember. Oh my god! This one actually
in the 65th minute.
This one actually stumped me.
Because this one, it's not like you'll see it in highlights or anything. No one's talking about it. But there was
I don't even remember this. To be fair with you, it's that crazy.
Wait. What? Okay. What position group? Was it a forward? It was a forward. No, I'm just asking because I don't remember.
62nd minute on a cross from a Pirlo free kick.
Totti? No.
Totti.
No.
It wasn't Totti.
Think about guys who could get their heads on.
Tony. It was Luca Toni.
Exactly. Luca Toni. This one's actually easier. Speaking about that was the last, or Materazzi's goal was the last goal for Italy in a knockout game in the World Cup. But who scored Italy's last goal in a World Cup?
Italy's last goal
and against
Balotelli
in 2014. Yes,
Balotelli
against
England.
Yep.
Exactly. Side of the net there. Yeah.
Exactly. That's an easy one. Marquisio scored in that game as well. Those are the last two goals. They got shut out the next two games against Costa Rica and Uruguay. And guys, this is going to be a fun one. But Italy obviously hasn't won a knockout game since 2006. There have been 18 teams who have won knockout games
in World Cup.
What?
In the World Cup, 18 teams
since Italy's last one a knockout game. So since this final, so
like in a tournament, you're saying, like in the tournament?
In the tournament, knockout games they have won. So people who have advanced to the quarterfinals, at least finals in 2010, 2014, 2018, and 2022. 18 teams. Let's say, can you name? Let's say 10. Let's see how many you guys name.
Russia.
Yep.
Croatia.
Yep.
France.
Yep.
Portugal.
Germany.
Yep.
Germany's 5.
England.
Yep.
Spain.
Yep.
We say France already?
Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
Thinking of going back to the World Cup. My brain. Ghana.
Yep.
Ukraine? Oh no! Fuck no!
No.
That was so sick.
Argentina, Netherlands, Uruguay.
Yeah. I think you already said Uruguay though. I don't know.
No, we didn't.
That's 11 right there.
Belgium or no?
Yeah.
Belgium.
That's 12.
I think you got.
I got 12.
You're missing one European team.
Then there's
Poland.
No.
So hold on. It's 11. 12 would probably be Morocco.
Yep.
13 would probably be Japan.
No.
Oh no, that was the group stage game that they won by stunner.
One more European team though, you said?
Yeah, one more European team, and I think you're missing
Wales.
No. I don't even know if
that was the Euro. That was the Euro.
Yeah. I'm getting confused too.
I already said Russia.
Let's see.
And we're at
you say you're missing
now.
5.
We're missing. No, we're missing. We got.
I think we're at
12 so
13.
far.
I think no.
No, we're at 12 so
We're at
far.
12. We're missing 6.
Yeah. We're missing
1 European, and then the rest God knows.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting.
say Brazil?
I'm counting 5 that you didn't say, unless there's one other
Okay.
one. You said 12. I'm giving you 13.
Did we
But
say Brazil, or is Brazil in
No,
there?
you didn't say Brazil.
So Brazil's in there.
Brazil's in there.
Because it's
so
too
now
obvious.
to
I
4.
said not to say it right away.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Who's the European team that we're
So,
missing? It's probably obvious.
out of the 4 that I for sure know you didn't say,
Hold on.
there's a Central American team, South American team, European team, and 2 South American teams, Central
Chile.
American. No,
Switzerland.
and not Switzerland, but close in name. Not
Sweden.
Oh,
Sweden.
okay.
Fucking
the other-
bastards.
Colombia is the other team.
Yeah,
Colombia.
Fucking James Rodriguez's tournament of the year. in 2015.
True. What was that? Yeah.
and so I'll give you a hint. These last 2 teams are teams that eliminated Italy, or were in the same group of as Italy in the last 2 World Cups.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica,
Slovenia,
no,
Slovakia. Sorry.
no.
Wait, what?
But we said Uruguay, no?
No.
I did say Uruguay.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said it.
sorry, you did. But
There's somebody else we're missing.
someone else. Who else made it through in 2010?
2010, yeah.
Well, Italy and France both got
Dios.
eliminated. That group was essentially
But they weren't in the same group. That you're confusing the Euros in 08.
no.
Jesus Christ.
Italy and France were in the same group in 2010.
No, they weren't. Italy had an easy group. They had Slovakia, New Zealand, and this other team that ended up winning a knockout game.
Oh my God. Where are they located in?
South America.
Peru.
No. You guys just want me to say it?
No, Venezuela. Ecuador.
It's not Ecuador.
No.
I'm thinking.
What the fuck's the other one? I
It's not Bolivia.
said Chile. No, it's not Chile.
It's not Chile.
What? Who?
Chile
You'd
played
think they
against-
would have won a game, but no, they didn't. They got eliminated.
Yeah,
in,
true. With the teams
in
that they had.
2014,
And
yeah.
last time
Right.
Chile was in a group in Italy was in '98.
Oh my God. If you tell us the first letters, they're gonna give it away.
P.
Yeah.
P. Paraguay.
Not Peru.
Fuck. Paraguay.
Paraguay. Yes, Paraguay.
Madonna.
Yeah. So I don't know if you said Spain.
Yeah, we
that
did,
means-
yeah.
We did say Spain.
So I'm pretty sure you did say all these teams. So honestly, kudos to Johnny. You did really well.
Yeah,
And
Johnny,
you were
did
pretty
that.
fast on it too. I'm pretty
Johnny
sure,
did the heavy lifting.
I'm pretty sure you said all these teams. Uruguay, Ghana, Netherlands, Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Paraguay, Spain, Colombia, France, Costa Rica, Belgium, Russia, Croatia, Sweden, England, Morocco, and Portugal. So all those teams have won a knockout game since 2006, and Italy
scored
has
goals.
Not even
That's not-
scored goals, played in one.
Appeared.
I could go through the teams that have appeared in a knockout game in a World Cup since 06. Italy's not there.
Yeah.
But
Vergogna.
no, it's crazy. Long time. So hopefully 2026 we run it back, but we'll see. Speaking of which, perfect transition. Since we last spoke, Italy hired Gattuso as the national team coach. I know it's been a while, and we had time to gather our thoughts. My first thought was this is a band-aid solution. This isn't long term. I don't think that means it's the wrong choice. I think it just means he's here at least through the qualifiers. After that, we'll see. I think he's a band-aid coach, but a good one too. Again, I don't think this is a bad hire by Italy. I know everyone wanted Ranieri, who is really another band-aid coach. We got Gattuso instead. What I do like about this hiring, what I do like about Gattuso is I know it's cheesy, but the grinta, right? The fieriness. He was on that team that played the last knockout game for Italy in 06. He won the World Cup. It kind of makes me think of De Rossi on the 2021 team. Even throw in Vialli, may he rest in peace, as an assistant coach. These are guys that have been there. Mancini as well. These are guys that have been there. They know what it takes to win. So in that sense, having Gattuso there is good. Is he a good tactician? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I know he had a short stint at Milan that there was mixed or mixed feelings, right, from Milan fans. He last coached Hajduk Split as an interim manager. So what he's going to do with this team, I don't know, but hopefully he's going to kick them in their ass and tell them to wake up, because that's what we need. We don't need a guy who's going to go and do some quotes in a press conference like Spalletti did about the philosophy and his pet duck and this and that. So that's what I want to see from Gattuso. I think the measure of success is, as sad as it is, it's considered success if Italy qualifies for the World Cup.
Yeah,
that's how low the bar has gone.
Rock bottom we've come to.
That's how low the bar has gone.
Yeah,
but that's it. It's also a step, guys. First step is to qualify for the World Cup, and then you can set goals once you get to the World Cup after. But right now, it's about qualifying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, it's tough because as an Italian Milan fan, I mean, Gattuso, holds a special place in my heart and a lot of Milan fans' heart, Italian fans' hearts, and he's like the true definition of uno di noi. Like, really worked his way to become the legend that he is. Again, the end-all manager for Italy, probably not. But I think, like you said, Nick, just to bounce off your points, I do agree. We need somebody that's gonna light a fire under these players' asses and show them and make them understand what it means to wear the Azzurri blue. Because honestly, I think we've had a lot of guys just pretending that it means something and is important, and it really hasn't, because of the performances that we've seen on the pitch. And again, you want to name the player's fault, the manager's fault, FIGC, Gravina, like we can go on and on. We've spoken about it. We can continue speaking about it. It'll never end. But what this team needs, what these fans deserve, and is it'll be back in the World Cup. It's as simple as that. Is Gattuso that guy? We'll have to wait and see. Is he going to be the manager that's going to unite this team and this nation and this locker room? I think so, absolutely. He is that guy. He is that type of manager, type of human being, type of player that he was, right? So listen, was I shocked? Maybe a bit. I didn't think they were gonna turn that quick left and hire Gattuso. But again, when he was with Milan, it was an interesting time at Milan. It wasn't obviously the Milans that we saw in the last couple of years. And with the cards he had at his disposal, he did the best he was able to do. I think he was a point or a handful of points out of top four that year. I think they finished fifth. He obviously got the boot. He went to Napoli. Won the what was it? They won the Coppa Italia, right? If I'm not mistaken. For Napoli in his stint.
Yeah.
So, and taking over, a legend that we all hold into a high regard in Ancelotti, right? After that disaster that kind of ensued at Napoli, Gattuso came in, was able to ride the ship, band the guys together, and whatever, not maybe have an ideal season, but ended off that stint with a trophy in claiming the Coppa Italia for Napoli. And then he goes off to Spain, the Valencia experiment in France, and then going to Croatia there. He's been around. He's really worked his way up coaching wise. I mean, obviously he's not the master tactician in world football, but he's a manager that I think is what Italy currently needs. They don't need this fancy schmancy, okay, tiki-taka, we're gonna toy with our opposition and gonna play beautiful football. This team just needs to win. They need to win. They need to know what it means to wear the Italy shirt, because it is a shirt that, like it or not, it weighs a ton. And he's going to make it clear to these players that, the end goal is making the World Cup. And that's a clear, ambition for them. And he's a coach, that really cares for his players. And I'm hopeful that these players will appreciate his approach, and they unite as one, and they go on and qualify, because at the end of the day, unity within the clubs, within the teams, within whatever it is key. It's what won us, the Euros in 2021. Many will say it was what won us the World Cup. Like we said, 19 years ago, it was the group. So Gattuso was in that group 19 years ago, and hopefully he's going to be the one to guide us back to a World Cup. 20 years after winning it in 2006. So again, I'm excited to see what transpires. I think obviously the first test is in September in the two qualifying matches. I mean, we cannot, honestly, I don't think we can be as bad as we've currently been. So any change, I think, is going to be a plus. And I know fans were very highly critical when they announced him, but at the end of the day, make the World Cup is the only thing that we need to worry about. And we all know once a team enters a tournament, in this case, it being the World Cup, anything can happen. And we've seen it time and time again. And, if and when, hopefully, Italy gets there, I'm hoping that, we can turn some heads again and kind of be back to some serious culture. And, listen, and he also kind of made some interesting points in his press conference. I know it's kind of a while ago, and we haven't spoken about many of this in about a month's time. But he wants to watch everybody. He has his eyes on everybody. He mentioned Chiesa in his press conference at the time. He emphasized that he needs to get some good minutes and some quality football this season, and that's what a lot of our players, our fringe players, our starting, quote unquote, starting players, are players that have been kind of in the rotation under Spalletti. They're going to have to get some good quality minutes and hopefully have some good seasons entering a World Cup year. So that's what's most important. And I'm hopeful that Gattuso can band these guys together, like I said, and put them on the right path. And it seems like they're all behind him too, right? He has Buffon, an 06 teammate, in his corner as well, part of the staff, right? So, and he kind of referenced Lippi quite a bit in his press conference when he got announced. So, he knows. I think he knows what to do, and he knows the pressure. And I think if there's one guy that can amount to something with his pressure is a guy like Gennaro Gattuso. So excited, curious, nervous, all the emotions. But I'm happy for Gattuso. He deserves this type of platform. And I even listened to what I know many people like to criticize and bash what Antonio Cassano says and call him a clown, which half the time, and maybe that is true, but he spoke highly of Gattuso, and they've been obviously close over the years with the national team. And he mentioned some pretty interesting points and some good points. So, but yeah, like I said, if there's one guy that deserves, success and, with the national team and kind of bring Italy back, it's definitely Gennaro Gattuso.
I mean, hard to follow a bunch of all that. That was a good, maybe 20 minutes of.
Sorry. It's been built. It's been marinating for a month. All this. So,
I could obviously speaking from from his player perspective, like his anger and lust for victory on the field goes without saying, because that's just how he's always been. He's always been a competitor, and it kind of transitioned to the way he manages and coaches too. He likes to instill the fire into his players, and I have to agree with the statement that Nick made earlier on about him. He's just a band-aid solution. I'll say this as he used to manage Napoli, and also looking at his track record as a coach, he is a band-aid solution. He's good at getting people in line and getting them in the direction where they need to go, but in terms of long-term plan, he doesn't really have any. So I'm not saying he's not, like, I wouldn't want him in the main role. I would want him in an assistant manager type role. Like, I think he's the perfect assistant manager. Like, I don't think he is the best manager. I think he's the perfect assistant manager. So
short-term relief, I think he's great. I do believe that he's able to get the team back on track and, kind of remind them why they're playing for this team and why they're wearing the jersey, and, kind of get them into trying to find success again and find that pride, find that embarrassment of losing. You don't want them to, like, when you put La Maglia Azzurra, like, you're not supposed to, like, you're supposed to feel embarrassed whenever you get any result that's not a win. If you don't have that type of, like, feeling, then you shouldn't be on the team. And I think Gattuso needs to remind these players that if you don't feel bad after a loss, you shouldn't be here. This is not what La Nazionale is for. It's a country that has a lot of pride in their football history. It's a country that has a lot of pride in their successes, and we've been like a permanent, like, mainstay for the World Cup until recent years, and we've always been number one in terms of, like, when people think, like, or not even a number one, but like, it was at one point it was neck and neck. It was number one, Italy or Brazil, and now it's like Italy's not even in the top 5 of the conversation. Now Italy's been knocked out. It's sad because at one point the prime time game to watch was Italy Brazil, but now it's like, okay, Italy's playing, cool, let's make fun of them, and it's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So all in all, I just hope that he rights some wrongs, gets them to the World Cup, and I don't think he's the type of coach that wins the World Cup unless some divine miracle happens if they get there. But in terms of, like, getting their head straight, I think he's great. And like I said, if he's willing to take an assistant manager role and you get somebody who's a bit more tactical, a bit more clairvoyant in what the direction the team needs to head into as your manager, I think he's perfect for that. And I was discussing this the other night, like, him, De Rossi, people like that, you need to have on your management team. You absolutely need to have one, if not more, of those type of voices to kind of, like, drill it into the players' heads, because they're not angry for the sake of being angry. They're angry to instill passion in you. And, like, these are types of guys that you're willing to go to the front lines for and die for them. Like, like when Napoli won the Coppa Italia, they celebrated it as if they won the Scudetto. It was like, mind you, there was a lot of emotion behind it too, because Gattuso lost his sister around that time, and it was also, the middle of the start of the pandemic, and there was no fans in the stadium, but nonetheless, it was also against a very big rival. It's like, it's still the fact that you see the players, they were willing to look like as if they're willing to take a bullet for the guy. So that's what you want from your team. You want players that are willing to, go to war for their coach. So I really do hope that the players find that, because we do not, the current core of players, like, we don't want to waste their time for the national team. And we got promising young players coming up and stuff that are getting more and more interest and hype as the years go by. That, like, our under 21 team has done great in recent competitions and stuff. And, like, we've had another promise kid after promise kid after promise kid. And we really hope that Camarda is actually the one to finally actually stick and be that, superstar that we haven't had since the days of Baggio. Actually, Balotelli. Actually, like, I think I've argued this already. I think Balotelli was the last player we had that actually had potential to be like a world star, like striker type of thing, or forward, because we haven't had one since that. So we need somebody to make this team offensively exciting. In the back end, we're good with Donnarumma but like, even at that, like, we don't have much time left with Donnarumma now. It's like, let's not waste these prime time years for the guy. So anyways, that's way too far ahead. For now, Gattuso's a good short-term plan. I believe it's a good hire, but as long as it's only for, like, get them to the World Cup and then see what happens to the World Cup, and then afterwards, think of something else. But it's a good Band-Aid solution to give them more time to find somebody. But the FIGC, now that's the problem.